the Celtics off the tip. And here's Brown. And he's fouled for Checking for Collins next, and it's Exum in for Garland. 1:35 left in the first. And he blocked it on the left. Elevated for Zizic. And the timing just not there on that attempt. Just the first protection. How are they going to go back for it given the opportunity? Boston, how could that timing go? Cleveland, they got out there to the one. Then there's Colin Sexton. Then it's Jimmy. And it's Hardaway in the start stop. That's the line for Cleveland right now. A man jogs up to Reuben Ray. Simmons got 6. Yeah, they're starting to warm up from the field at this point. They pass it to the sideline. Swing it over to David Aldridge. Thanks, guys. Shooting in his last opportunity. He said that he looked like he was really shooting. He had 13 points and he added 4 rebounds to his stat line. This team is playing really well right now. They're playing for each other and working hard to get a lead. Kevin Williams.
Football, including a Saturday triple header, full slate of games on Sunday, and of course, Monday night. That's happy holidays for all of us football fans. It's going to be a whole lot of... Hi, NBA Christmas Day. We have 5 games. What a gift for you. Check it out on ESPN and ABC.
I don't know who was powering Cincinnati's Bengals last night, but they sure gave Cleveland a nice little early Christmas present. Mary Kay Cabot is here. And Mary Kay, what was that all about last night? Who saw that one coming?
You know what? I did not see it coming. I knew that the Steelers were falling apart. I didn't think they had fallen so far that they were going to lose to a 2-victory football team starting Ryan Finley. I mean, come on. I still can't believe that happened. I mean, the Bengals were just out for it last night, really. The way that defense was playing, they were absolutely incredible and unbelievable, and I'm still shocked by the whole thing. And it really sets up for a very interesting 2 weeks.
Yeah, it sure does. We, of course, will focus our attention to the Browns, but it doesn't hurt if you're a Browns fan to see Pittsburgh kind of just fall apart. Is it the end for them, or is it the beginning of the end, or what is it? What are we watching here from afar?
Well, you know what? I think they've had a lot of injuries this season, so I think for anybody to think that you can just write off the Steelers, you know what? I just don't think that it's time to do that. People planned on doing that heading into this season, right? I mean, they had no Le'Veon Bell, they had no Antonio Brown. Ben was getting up there in years, and yet they started off 11-0. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good organization over there in Pittsburgh. And they will find a way to get back on the winning track next year. There's no way that they are going to settle for anything less than a competitive football team They also have, like I said, a lot of injuries. They lost their best linebacker in Devin Bush. Just a couple of weeks ago, they lost one of their very best pass rushers in Bud Dupree. Last night, they were without their starting running back in James Conner. They've got a bunch of guys dropping passes. So Ben does not have a lot of help right now. And, if you're not supporting an older quarterback or a struggling quarterback with a really robust running game, then you're doing him a disservice.
Well, when the Browns ever sniff falling apart, everybody just wants to wipe everything out and start from the beginning. We all know what a good organization Pittsburgh is, but they don't seem to be taking that same approach. They until they're totally convinced that they got to break it up, they're going to try till their last breath to keep it going. I would guess, unless it all came at the same time when Ben decided to retire at the same time, maybe. Maybe some other of their veteran players would want out also. So, but I just don't see him standing up against the masses.
No, I mean, you know what? It's going to be really hard, I think, for them to get back on track. In fact, I honestly believe that the Browns have an amazing chance to win the AFC North. I really do, because the way the Steelers are playing, they have to play the Colts. The Colts are 10-4. They have to play a really good Colts team on Sunday, and they haven't even been able to beat a bad team, let alone a good team. The Browns, meanwhile, are going back to MetLife Stadium to play the 1-13 Jets. They just got the monkey off of their back, so they are not going to be leaving every single thing they have out on the field to try to avoid 0-16. They've already done that. Not that they're not going to try to win, but they won't be as desperate. So therefore, I think the Browns will easily beat the Jets. I think the Steelers will struggle with the Colts, and it sets up for a big, huge showdown on January 3rd at First Energy Stadium. And with what I'm seeing of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, the Browns can absolutely beat them.
At 11-0, the Steelers were the last unbeaten team in the NFL this year and thinking a bye in the first round of the playoffs. But since week 12, they've looked average at best. The Steelers have lost to Washington, Buffalo, and last night the Cincinnati Bengals. At 11-3, the Steelers have a one-game lead on the Browns in the AFC North with 2 left to play, including that matchup here in Cleveland with the Browns the last Sunday of the season. During the last 3 games, the Steelers' defense, which was dominant early in the year, has been decimated by injuries and looked pretty bad. Pittsburgh lost the time of possession battle with Washington, Buffalo, and Cincinnati. 3 teams. They also have lost the turnover battle. Challenged as well. Pittsburgh has run the ball for a total of 156 yards in those 3 games combined. A total of 156 yards running the football. Big Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback, has looked every bit of his 38 years of age. He has not thrown for more than 190 yards in either of the last 2 losses. And for the 3-game losing streak, Roethlisberger has thrown 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. While the Browns have the Jets, who are coming off their first win. If the Browns take care of business with the Jets, the question before Browns fans is this: do you root for the Steelers to beat the Colts? That would lock up a playoff spot for the Browns. Or do you pull for the Colts to win, which would set up a winner-take-all battle with the Steelers for the AFC North in the final week of the season, where if the Browns win, they win the AFC North and get a home playoff game. But if they lose, there's a chance they could miss out entirely on the playoffs at 11-5. That would be based on the outcome of some other AFC games, which is entirely possible.
Well, you have a good job by Bateman on that, and speaking of his future. Mary Kay, do you have there's so many different possibilities here as we go down to the last week. For the Browns' sake, what's in your mind? What's the best way of getting into that postseason? You want to win it first, or you want to hang it on and maybe win the whole thing? What do you want to do?
You know, I think what they have to do is what they've done all season long, and that is just focus on winning the next game and let everything else take care of itself and put on the blinders and not worry about what's going to happen if they, if this team does that or if the Steelers do this. In fact, when the Steelers lost their first game and a bunch of players started putting out emojis and memes about how the Steelers left the door open for them, I think Kevin Stefanski slammed that door shut very quickly of players peeking ahead to trying to win the AFC North. He needs them laser focused on the next game. We saw what happened when the Rams weren't really, really ready to go play the Jets last week. So, anything can happen in these football games. Now, I 100% think that the Browns are going to beat the Jets. I don't even think it's going to be difficult. I just really believe that they are going to win. But that is what has gotten them to 10-4, is to block every single thing out and only worry about the next game.
Mary Kay, let's take a look at the Jets, who don't even know when they're supposed to win games and lose games. So that makes it comfortable to play a team like that. They're going for the opposite of the Miami Dolphins in '72, and they couldn't hold on to the loss of that face. So what do they have? They're an NFL team that they have players. Who do they have? What do you have to worry about?
Well, I haven't done all my scouting yet on the Jets yet, but one person that they have that we all know is a member of the 2018 quarterback class that almost ended up here with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, there was a lot of thought before that whole process got started that maybe they would draft Sam Darnold. And now here are the Jets actually talking about, trying to get another quarterback. I mean, somebody even asked Sam Darnold in his press conference the other day, did they mess up the number 1 overall pick and lose out on getting a quarterback? Why would they ask that of Sam Darnold? I don't understand that at all. But this is someone that's going to want to go out and have something to prove against the Browns, and they just won a game. They just won a football game. They beat the Rams, and the Rams have a good defense. So he's going to be motivated, I think.
I don't think this matters to anybody. Maybe Jimmy Haslam it does, but is Coach of the Year in the offing here for Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially, look, they won 5 out of their last 6 games. He's a first-year head coach. There are so many reasons why he should be NFL Coach of the Year, and I think especially now that the Steelers have gone in the tank. There was a lot of talk that Mike Tomlin would be up for that award, but now I think you really have to put Kevin Stefanski very high on the top, near the top of the list, if not at the top.
Does it matter to a team if their coach wins that award, or does it matter to the the coach to say, well, what took you so long to hire me? My first chance, I become coach of the year. Or is the whole thing, it's nice to get, but it's meaningless if you don't win a championship?
You know what? I think it would mean a lot to everyone in this organization if Kevin Stefanski were named Coach of the Year. I do think that would be a big, huge deal. He's not, obviously, it's not something that's on his mind. I mean, if it happens, it happens. And those are the kinds of things that come to you when you do put those blinders on and you do your job and you focus on the next game. And the good thing for him is that he has been to the NFC Championship game. He's been around successful teams. He's been to a Super Bowl. So, therefore, you have someone who understands what it takes to get to that level. So he knows you can't get here and all of a sudden start thinking about outside things. Because guess what? As you mentioned earlier, they haven't clinched a spot yet. There is a world, a very small world, but a world in which it doesn't happen. And so he knows he's got to keep his guys on point and himself too.
Do you think there's some personnel directors around the NFL now, or maybe owners who are saying, how did we miss this guy in Minnesota, talking about Stefanski? I mean, right now he's got to be the talk of the coaching world, and somehow, I don't know, 8, 10 teams missed him over the last 2, 3 years.
Well, you know what? I mean, because he was, he was not calling plays, and he wasn't even an offensive coordinator until the end of the previous season. Not even the year before last year, he only got that job when John DeFilippo got fired. So he was only the interim OC and play caller for the final 3 years. Generally, you don't become a head coach unless you've been a coordinator and a play caller. So, I'm not surprised that people didn't find him. I mean, the people that end up on those lists are the really super hot coordinators, and he wasn't that. So the Browns were thinking outside the box. Paul DePodesta and Andrew Berry identifying the kind of person they wanted to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. They wanted somebody extremely smart and somebody with amazing people skills, and they got to know him well enough throughout the process that he was the kind of guy that they wanted. And I'll tell you, it's made all the difference in the world. The difference between Kevin Stefanski running this team and Freddie running this team is just absolutely night and day.
I want to ask something about Baker Mayfield because I've been thinking a little bit about this. So if we remember, of course, Baker Mayfield just has, a disastrous stretch. He's got the second half against the Colts, throws 2 picks. The game against the Steelers, throws 2 picks. There was a pick on his very first pass against Cincinnati. So you're looking at 7 quarters, 5 interceptions. He starts 0 for 5 against Cincinnati. Then he just goes crazy. 21 straight. Wins the game against the Bengals, and then all this bad weather hits in November, and you can't really throw the ball that much anymore. But I'm wondering, was that maybe a good thing for Baker Mayfield? Because obviously you get the bounce back against Cincinnati, what you needed.
Yo guys, what's going on? Stab here.
Instead of Jared Goff, they would have won. See, Sam Darnold already proved that. I'm more clutcher than you. I can make 4th down throws. See, respect every single time to remember about Clay.
And it's the Cavaliers to start out. All right, so Brad Stevens, some people feel he pretty much has a lifetime deal in Boston. Bill, would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, they were always signing him to 5 and 6 year extensions. Just signed another deal in August 2020. I think Celtic fans were always worried he was going to get lured back to college, whether it was Duke, Indiana, wherever. And Celtics are probably worried about it too, so they just keep signing him for half a decade at a time. And they should. He's one of the 4 best coaches in the league, and it seems like he really respects the tradition of this team all generation. That's really what you want out of this team.
It's stolen by Smart. Fast break. Here come the Celtics. And Brown with the stop. What a two-way play. Just tremendous. Yeah, the steal was slick. The slam topped it all.
And we say it time and time again, we'll always do it. You have to be careful with the ball, or this is what happens.
By Junior. And some news about Junior coming out recently. He'll be the cover athlete for NBA 2K22. Love that game. Just think about it. Look at some of the cover athletes that 2K has had the last few years. That is some elite company that Junior is joining. Here's Brown. The Cavs getting their last shot to go. You know, Bill, you work with so many different mediums. Name the piece or series that you're most proud of.
Definitely 30 for 30. Creating that from scratch, and then putting a couple years of my life into getting it off the ground, and do 30 documentaries, 30 different directors that did sports stories we cared about, and just hoping anybody would watch it. That was in 2009, and 11 years later, it's still going, and we thought we would get 30, and we lucky to get to 30, and now they've done, I think, 75, 80, something like that, and it's still going, and it's cool. It's cool whenever a player says, that's going to be a 30 for 30 for doing the lexicon with that. Definitely one of the highlights of my career.
And here are the Cavaliers now. The Celtics taking their last shot. And he wants the rim. And the jam by Drummond.
Really nice work from Junior there, showing off his ability to size up the defense and make the right decision.
Tight sets a screen. Here's Walker. No good. And that makes him 0 for 3. Well, Bill, there's been a lot of discussion about maybe changing the makeup of the regular season, playing some in-season competitions that maybe result in a playoff spot. Where do you stand on all of that?
I like the idea, except I've never been able to figure out what the incentive for the team should be. Because, these guys are wealthy. You're not going to incentivize them by saying, hey, if you guys win this tournament, everybody gets to split $2 million. You have guys in the league that are making $40 million, $39 million, $38 million, and to expect them to be going all out unless there are real stakes, I don't see how you pull that off. Now, could you make the stakes work? You don't have to play in round one if you win the tournament, something like that. I think there would have to be some sort of playoff stake, some sort of advantage.
Boston shooting around 33%, not the best offensive efficiency. On the court right now for Cleveland. The rebounding tandem of Love and Drummond are inside. Then it's Junior, then there's Kevin Porter, and it's Garland in at the point. And the 2K Esports League continues to grow, Bill.
really love it. He called him a couple of times straight. He sees these guys, and these guys are inspirations to him. It makes him work harder at the game. And I love that there's the upside to playing video games because, trust me, in the 1980s and 90s when I was growing up, when I was in college, there was no upside other than trash talking my friends. That was the real enjoyment.
That's his shot. And one, I'm sure he wants back. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Puts up a three. It's another three for Cleveland. Well, here's a composed-looking shot there. Shooting looking good right now for Judy. For Boston, they've got only one of four shots to go in. Pass to Tatum. You know, last season, we saw teams play an average of about 71 games in the regular season. With all the load management going on, Bill, is that a better number than the old 82, you think?
I've been saying it forever. I think they need to cut the number. You know, you think about it, there's 30 teams. You play everybody in both conferences twice. That gets you to 58 games. Then you can play everybody else in the conference once. That gets you to 72. And I think that should be the number. I don't know why we have as many as we do other than it's money. It's 5 extra home games for everybody. And I think when you think about the wear and tear of players, the performance level would be enhanced by having less games, more rest, things like that. I think it's worth the trade.
That one's good for two.
I love Walker's competitiveness. This guy has overcome doubters at every single level of basketball.
Foul against Green. Back to Garland. 6 to shoot. Drives to the hoop. And so he draws one. Out of the top of the ball. Instinctive to do whatever it takes to get to the foul line. Tice checked in for Boston. Williams comes in for Brooklyn. It's up. Here in quarter two, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Smart against Sexton. Smart outside. With the floater. Oh, Truman with the block. And right now, they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with this. The rebound, Celtics. Looking for the spectacular is coming up empty.
And you can see when it's that close, players react. Oh, man, he just gets that one. Maybe they'll get another chance at it.
Now here's Tice. Flip. And pushing it up. Here's Cleveland. And Junior throws it down.
Taking that gamble.
Midnight.
Junior turns the defense into offense.
1:33 left to play in the first half. Pass to Tice. Here's Smart. Now Walker. There's the three. He gets it to go. Makes it 2 for 5.
Yeah, nice play. Kemba, soft touch on the jumper. That's his thing.
And a shout out to Bill Simmons. Man, great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here, and I feel like this game has been playing in the background of my house for about a year. So it's nice to actually join the game versus hearing it on TV.
Well, you can sense Bill's passion for the game. We could have talked all day.
Well, Kevin, I'm surprised that you didn't. Thank goodness Bill had a taxi waiting. Otherwise, we would have.
This is for 3. For Boston, they've got 4 of their first 9 shots to go here in the second. Pass to Tatum from outside the arc. That one no good. The Cavaliers go the other way with it. It was a combination of their great defense and their opponent's poor offensive execution.
No question they deserve some credit, but they were really helped out by what was a very shaky performance on the other side. Nobody on that squad had a night they want to remember.
Showing off some mobility there. When Drummond rolls like this, he's hard to stop his pick and roll. Oh, and he got fouled.
Love recognizes the space before he caught the ball, so plenty of room to shoot that ball.
Now here's Walker. Now here's Smart. Check by Sexton. Smart passes to Canner. Outside Walker. He drives in. Another shot. And it's good on the lay-in.
And for Kemba, the drive often comes with some contact, but he has the agility and concentration to work around it and get the ball to the basket.
Now here's Junior. Dance. Screen on Tatum. Oh! There's the alley! And Dance with the slam!
Yeah, you could throw it just about anywhere for Larry Nance Jr., and then they'll know what to do with it.
Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
Nice passes to Walker. That will go in for Walker. Well, the Cavaliers shooting 65%. Their offense has been on another level. Now here's Junior. To the middle. And Nance with the slam!
Junior, no stranger to making plays on offense. Great instinct.
The Celtics have gone 1 of 4 since the fourth quarter began. Smart finds Walker. Tatum, long range. Down the triple.
He's a go-to guy for them because he's that consistent. Time and time again, he delivers.
Tatum against Junior. Outside Love. Ooh, stolen by Cannon. Tatum passes to Walker. We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And there's a foul. It's going to belong to Darius Garland. And Green is subbed in for Smart. Porter Jr., he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Now here's Canner. Outside Walker. And here's Junior. Into the lane. And Junior throws it down.
Right now operating on another level, almost like Junior's floating out there.
Boston has gotten 1 of 3 to fall from downtown here in the fourth. Pass to Tatum. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter here. Out to the right wing. Here's Canner. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that.
Junior against Tatum. Drive by Junior. And out of bounds. The Celtics will take it. A minute 30. What's up? Watch him. Watch him. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Canner. Pass to Walker. Launches it. It's all in by Junior.
Not sure if he ran out of energy at halftime or what, but so far just not himself in the second half.
Driving inside.
Finishing the game strong. This is how you shut the door on any hopes of a comeback.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive.
Sends it home from three-point land.
The deep shooting ability of Hayward is invaluable. A forward who stretches the deep.
Junior way outside.
congrats on moving on to the next round. How do you feel about the team's play in this opening series?
Well, we played okay. By fans, can't say a lot of fans, but it was okay. You know, I give it 3.6 stars. Not great, not terrible. Got a lot of room to improve, though. And we got to improve. We want to keep going deeper into the playoffs.
Okay, well, I would say this is a huge win for you guys. First playoff series down. I would give it a little more than a 2.6. Okay, thanks so much, Junior. Congratulations. All right, thanks. And go ahead, back to you.
All right, y'all. Who's going to start?
Congrats on the win, Junior.
Thanks, Chris.
What did your opponent do wrong that helped you come out on top?
That's a great team over there. All credit. We were just able to buckle down when we needed to, get some stops, share the ball. But, yeah, to be honest, they played a great series.
So strategy didn't factor into it?
As part of it, we just happen to have a great coaching staff who really prepared us for what we go. So it's part of it.
Junior, did anything surprise you about how the series played out? Anything that you'll take with you to the next round?
Well, you always try to learn from your experiences. So, yeah, there were some things we saw here and there. Adjustments we made.
Can you elaborate on that?
No, I cannot, because I don't want to get too much into details. We still got some games. I'm just going to keep that.
I think they have a very good chance. And might we note that I said this was a possibility, and everybody on the show, except you, meaning Furman and also Sal, ridiculed the very idea that it might happen. That was before the Browns lost an epic contest against the Ravens. But now, look at the 15th game for both of these teams, and we are favored to have a game in Cleveland for the AFC North title. Right now, the Steelers are underdogs against the Colts. I would imagine a lot of people out there watching right now are going to be on the Colts on Sunday. The Browns are a big favorite against the Jets. I know they just beat the Rams, but surely they're not going to win 2 games in a row. I think the Browns are going to win. I think that the Steelers are going to likely lose, although I like the value on them because this line has swung so wildly. And if that happens, then you are going to have the Steelers on the road in Cleveland with the AFC North on the line. Baker Mayfield and company has a legitimate chance to win the AFC North. And I think, guys, I bet you agree with me on this part, even if you don't agree with that. I think the Steelers are the worst team in the AFC that may make the playoffs. I think they have almost no chance on the offensive side of the ball to keep up with a lot of these other offenses out there. Their defense has become pedestrian.
There he is.
There you have it. There he is. A Browns fan in full in my Hawaiian shirt. I like the Browns to win this division.
Sal, come on, buy in. Buy in.
This is so weird. I don't even know what that offense was we were watching last night. I mean, the Steelers